Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 25th, 2024. I almost said 25. Welcome to the Java Cafe. It is just Jimmy this morning. It is Thankful Thursday. It's a Thursday. Let's go in the Java Cafe and see who is in. This is my first time, I think, in a couple of weeks that I've been solo. So let's go in and check in with the Java family and just chat and converse this morning. We are having sort of a quick shot because I have some folks coming by to do a photo shoot here in the home studio and got to switch some things around and get some things together. So good morning, everybody. Naraki, beautiful. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Miss Teresa, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Mama Java, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Pops, it was so good to see you on screen just before the show yesterday. I'm glad that you were coming along. I think I told y'all yesterday, Pop's going swimming. So he's out there doing his thing, getting better. And thank all of you on behalf of the Davis family for all the prayers and support for Pops Davis. Pastor Drumright from Tennessee, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Obi, my brother, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. And also, Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Yes, Obi, I have a photo shoot. I didn't curate it. It's so I'll tell y'all. Boston Magazine is doing a feature. I think it's next month. And so I did a whole hour interview with them earlier this week. And then they're coming by today to do a photo shoot here. So yeah, we got that going on and getting ready for that. So sort of a quick shot this morning. But one of the things I heard from Real this morning, and I've seen it on the news as well. And I just wanted to just name that a lot of our college students are exercising their right to protest. We are in a country that they have a right to do that. And whether your stance on the issue, one thing I'm just compelled to say in the context of a lot of young people and the Joe Biden's current numbers and things like that, the thing that I feel compelled to say is that the ability to protest around who is making a decision that you all want him to change as far as ceasefire and stop sending support to Israel, though you don't like him, the fact that you are able to do that with him in the office at this time is our democratic American right. I need to say that coming up in November, as much as people are upset with Joe Biden around a lot of things and a lot of issues, cancel student debt, some handling of the, non sustaining the COVID sort of federal, emergency and what that did to a lot of communities, inflation, democracy is on the line, y'all. If that man who used to occupy the White House gets back in the office, the presidency as we've known it will cease to exist. And so don't know why I'm particularly, well, I do know why I'm going that way because Real shared with me, and I'm going to try to see if I can bring up some of the footage on screen. There have been reports of, students being arrested. There's a report of law enforcement dragging a press person, a cameraman, down to the ground as he was trying to get footage. And yes, should he have been in the crowd there and things like that? Yeah, some commentary I'm just going to stay away from. So let's go in and see. I'm not sure if I will be able to show this on screen and you all will be able to fully see it, but let's see what we can work out because you all know we do things in real time. So I obviously think I got the sound. Y'all let me know if y'all just heard that. And let me get this over here. And so I did see footage yesterday within minutes of what was going on at Harvard University. Harvard Yard was trending nationally. There was a national movement, I believe, to take over college campuses and build encampments. And Real, good morning, brother. I am actually trying to see if I can play this video you shared. So the moment mass state troopers invaded the Emerson encampment and students bravely held their ground. Now, I have not seen this full footage. There may be some things that are concerning to folks on here. So just sort of a disclaimer in case this is offensive to anyone. Michelle is saying we need to pray and vote our conscience for the sake of democracy. No time to be an absentee voter. If you're eligible to vote, 18 plus, vote on November 5th. Every election. But Michelle, thank you for that so much. So let's go and see if I can get this to do right. And you all let me know if you can hear the sound here. I will give credit to who this video was from in just a second. So here is, and let me see if I don't think I can zoom in. So this is it of what happened when state troopers went into Emerson College. There are encampments at Harvard. There are encampments also. There's protests and things going on at Tufts University as well. We see what's going on at Columbia University. And so here's the footage from this. I believe this was last night. Real, let me know if this was last night or this morning. Good morning, Nicole. Good to see you in the room. Here you go, guys. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. You basically get the picture of what happened there at Emerson College. And again, no matter what you are, no matter what your opinion is, we have a right to express that, and we have a right to gather. And you know, public safety is always going to be, I believe, the prominent issue when law enforcement goes in. But I will say that some of the footage that I'm seeing from across the country is very concerning. And with all of that being said, this is able to go on in a democratic country with a democratic, and when I say democratic, I don't mean a Democrat. I mean who's in the White House right now believes in democracy. And let's take it back. Do you all remember all of the metal fencing and things that were put up in front of the White House in 2020? And I can unequivocally, almost unequivocally, kind of an oxymoron, say that if things were, what's up, Daniel, over on Instagram? If Orange Man was in the White House, this would be handled very differently. And so, you know, not to conflate the situations, but to drive the point home of he who you are mad at about not taking a different stance, at least there is a foundational agreement that you all have the right to protest against him. And so I just needed to state that. And it's very interesting. So let's go in and get some thoughts from the Java family this morning. The challenge with gathering in these areas where they are gathering, some places are private property versus public property for protesting. Okay, and college property, I believe, is private property. So Obi, thank you for that. Michelle, peaceful protest is a right of all U.S. legal residents and citizens. Belinda, sorry they were blocking the door. I don't believe in excess force at all, but these people literally said they will have to drag us out. So they did. Sharon Cornelius, good morning, Sharon Cornelius, Sharon Cornelius, Sharon Cornelius. Michelle says freedom of speech is also a constitutional right. Absolutely. Belinda again says they are not peaceful. People don't even understand the history or anything that's going on. They just jump on bandwagon, comparing it to slavery of African Americans. And so that is sort of a interesting statement there. And, you know, what some consider peaceful, some may not. Some consider peaceful that we're not shooting. Some consider peaceful that we're not setting the fires and stuff like that. And so some may just be jumping on the bandwagon, but there are some people that really believe, and we have to understand that Boston is a international city, and a lot of students from a lot of other countries and spaces, not just states, come here. And there's probably a large population from the Middle East, from maybe the Gaza area and Palestine and different areas that have affinity and love for the people there that are here in Boston. And not just those from those countries, but there are Americans, there are young people, men, women, black, white, rich, poor, all in between that are on both sides of the issue. However, the protests are largely from the side that wants us to cease fire, that wants us to not keep giving aid to Israel. And again, whatever your thought is on that, my thought is humanity has to be at the foundation. Protecting country and things like that, absolutely. But they can be done in a manner that is humane. It can be done in a manner that the consideration of those that are not fighting and in the war need to be able to eat, sleep, and have water and the basic essentials of life. And so let's go back into the comments. Susan is here this morning. Susan, good morning. Some do truly know what's going on. Some do not. I assume that is true for any large protest group. Absolutely. Obi says, agreed. There was training for protesting that was going on during the civil rights movement. The way people referred to protesting was structured and better organized. The protests today aren't as effective because of the lack of organization in masses. And so there is a balance there. They did of old do more organizing, and in the don't forget, they didn't have social media. Today, somebody puts out a tweet, meet up at Emerson College at 7:00. We're protesting. Everybody's showing up, even if there's a training. And we have to also, we found out in 2020 and before and other protests prior to, there are bad actors that come in, and we talk about jumping on. There are some people that are coming in and jumping in these protests to make those that are protesting look bad. They don't care about the cause. What they are disruptors of the message. And so we have to keep that in mind as well. Miss Teresa is saying college protests need to work with their campus organizations that can secure their safety and often and not do rogue protests. Absolutely. Obi said, I'm here for protesting, but none that is structured for proper guidance of the masses. But we need, I would say, but he's not going to any that's not structured for the safety of the masses. Michelle agrees and says that humanity has to be at the forefront. Heidi, I think I missed a comment from you. Pastor Marion just said Target, so I'm trying to find it. Keys is in the room. Everybody say good morning to Keys. She is working and doing a lot and hasn't been able to be in as much. And so I can't find Heidi's statement, Pastor Marion, but here's Heidi. They are making the protest about They are making the protest about anti-Semitism. There's just a whole lot. Excuse me. I got real comfortable. There's just a whole lot to unpack here with what's going on, economic impact and just different things. And let's also not allow ourselves to be caught up in a lot of opportunistic messaging that does not point toward humanity, that does not take, no matter where you stand, that is not in the essence of either side of the cause. As I said before, there's some bad actors that come in and attempt to usurp the message. Let's see what folks are saying over on Instagram. Well, that's just folks jumping in, not as many comments. Auntie Java comes in and says, let's look at the timing. College is not free. Classes are being missed. Scholarships can and will be withdrawn. These students were just jumping on board on the bandwagon for a few that are truly protesting. Silence is key to a peaceful protest. Protest on weekends, not during class time. Good point there. And as a parent and as an educator, as Auntie Java was as well. I've been in the protests before, good and bad. The ones that were poorly structured led to me getting injured and arrested with no proper lawyer to be our representative on the following day in court. And so that's a risk that you take. And depending on what you want to do in life, that could be on your record. Most people wink, if they see a protest, you're arrested for a protest on your, record when they do a background check. However, and Obi, I'm curious to hear your thoughts because there is footage also about a photographer that, from what I saw in the footage, he was on the side of the police and was trying to get footage of the folks that the police were trying to break up. He wound up getting knocked down and dragged to the ground and arrested. And so, Obi, I'm curious to hear your thoughts of where is the balance, because these things need to be documented around capturing bad actors, and also if there, as Belinda referred to, excessive force. And so they need to, in this stage of, as Kendrick said, phone, tool. They are a tool, but we also have to be cognizant and intentional about safety, and in our actions, allow our actions to demonstrate the foundational mission of what the protest is all about. Let's go back in and see. Asia is in the building. Good morning, Asia. Good to see you in the room this morning. Obi is saying with the structured protest, these contingencies are already out in place. Asia, my baby had just left her friends at Emerson. Susan is saying, I think students want to protest during class days because they think it makes a bigger statement, that they're willing to miss classes that they are paying for. Absolutely. And to Heidi's point, or Auntie Java's point, there are, again, as Obi and other folks, and I'm saying that some folks just want to get out of class. And some folks are just don't know. Who was it? Susan or someone, or Belinda said that people don't know the history. And let's give, I don't know how we describe it. Let's not also, there are some bandwagon jumpers, but then there are some that just have enough knowledge that according to what they're consuming through media and in their circle, they hear injustice. They hear inequity. Bam, they're going to go jump. To Obi's point, not trained, not organized. And so when you're really, I'm probably going to have to bring Darren back and maybe get his opinion. Darren Howell has led, when I tell you the reason some people get $15 right now in this state, Darren Howell and others that led that effort, but they had to protest, and they were impactful, shut down intersection protests, but folks weren't getting hurt and arrested. And so somebody tag Darren Howell and get him in this conversation. I was the photographer for the one I got injured in. The photographer isn't excluded in it, even if you are on the side that the officers are. Obi is also saying the officers react during protests, less critical thinking on both sides. And there's their anxiety and adrenaline. And unfortunately, some bad actors get off on opportunities to exert some force. We won't prejudge and say excessive for now. Less critical think. Next sentence. There isn't a media pass that informs the police of what your role is with the camera in hand. But well, yeah, because they don't. Anybody could be out there getting footage, or even from the bad actors on the other side, to talk about things. So, or to capture things. And so, Obi, I would suggest to you, Miss Teresa, you get some sort of vest. If you're going to do that, you get a vest. It's bright orange or something, and it says press or media on it. We don't need you out there getting hurt. Miss Teresa, at Boston College back in 1995, our minority administrators facilitated and monitored our protests we had surrounding inequitable admissions of people of color. It was a huge protest that was structured and very safe. Susan says, that is so frustrating. Press need to be there and be safe. Belinda, there is a zoom on the camera, right? Oh, yeah. Zoom on the camera. Can people know better? There's correct angles and equipment in those money shots. Darren Howell. Thank you for tagging Darren, Belinda. And so from a tech standpoint, yes, there is Zoom, but getting in and they're, they do have to be safe. But, I think what Obi said in reference to law enforcement reacting, I mentioned anxiety and adrenaline. There's also the protesters, but even people that are there to capture can be dealing with that. Their adrenaline is running maybe in a different manner. Wow, sad what happened, but I got to get that shot. And they're not paying attention to their safety. So, Rachel, I just had a protest outside my building this past weekend with the Rachel knows why. Keys knows why I'm laughing. She's advocating and doing it's the party hat. After that, Keys, I have my media press vest. Also been building better relationships with law enforcement, as well for healthy communication. Absolutely. Miss Teresa, he said he already got one. So yeah, sort of a different way this morning, but seeing some of that footage, and when I saw it, I did, because I'm aware of what is going on around polls and numbers. I'm also aware, what's the man's name that does the sports commentating? I did listen to his apology or setting context video. And then at the end, he like just really almost, how I perceive what he was presenting, was making a case to get he who used to occupy the White House back in the White House. What is the guy's name? The sports commentator. He did name that Biden's numbers are low and young people are upset, and for various reasons. But we who understand, we who are aware, we who are mature, experienced, and older need to figure out a way to hear our young people, and also, where it's valid, credit a lot of their concerns, and then in turn let them know. What's her name? AOC, Alexandria, what's her name? The sister Ocasio-Cortez from New York. She does not agree. She goes at Biden. However, she highlighted the point that the work that needs to be done is easier done with somebody like Biden versus that other dude. So, all right, it is 9:28. As I mentioned, I have to do a quick shot this morning to get ready for this shoot. And today's Thursday. Today's my Friday. We will be back on Monday morning. Right now, slated next week, we have a great lineup for you. Let me just mention that real quick. Hold on. Today is the 25th. Next week on the 29th, we're holding that. On the 30th, we will chat, and I need to make sure we're doing that because on the 30th, I am also at the job fair that Conan and Helena came and talked about, a career fair next week, hosting that panel. So on May 1st at 9:30, we have TEDx Roxbury. And on May 2nd, we have Bill Henning and Shakia that are speaking with me after dark. And then the next couple of weeks, we have meditation. We're doing a partnership in the month of May with Pure Spark, Naisha Deed, who has been with us before. So we have some folks coming in next week as well. We will be back on Monday. Naraki, if you text me, I tell y'all all the time, phone. And I'm realizing that because of like what I do, and I've ever since cell phones, I don't know what it is. We get landlines back. Oh Jesus, I'll be on the phone all day. But Naraki, text me and let me know what you need to check in about. And also, Obi said, vote and be connected to your local politicians, the city council, state reps, and senators. Absolutely. You did not do me. Java with Jimmy fam. Have a blessed day and enjoyable upcoming weekend. Michelle, strength to you as you're orienting and getting things set up there over at Roxbury Youth Works. Belinda said, get a beeper. Ma said, some still have landlines. Really? Miss Teresa said, Naraki, call him, say hi when he answers, then hang up. Y'all, listen, I'm really with balance and not being rude. I'm really just, me and the phone just, nope. Miss Teresa, I'm going to text you. Susan, oh yes, national will always go blue around here. Local is where we can really refine our direct leadership. Absolutely. But we can't fully take that for granted as a state. And I told y'all, when was the re-election? 16, 4 years later, 20. I am in Fields Corner, driving down Dorchester Ave, Get to an intersection. I see these red flags. Pull up to the light. Red flags, American flags, pickup truck, Trump signs. So, Susan, you make a good point, but we can't take that for granted. Darren is, my mother is going to call. So, Darren, I had them tag you because we were talking about protest and safety and whatnot. And Darren, if you're free and got 2 minutes, I will surely be glad to send you the phone number where you can call in and chat. Well, I can't. I got to get off here. I got to get ready for this photo shoot. So, Darren and I have talked, and we bounced around because it was you remember he hijacked that Friday on Freestyle Fridays. So we need to get Darren back for a few reasons. And so I'll talk with him and get that on. We'll have to try to speed it up because protests are going on right now, but we would love to hear from him, his thoughts about what's going on. So y'all still got these landlines. Yes, Ma? All right, folks, we'll see you Monday morning at 9 a.m. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, rather. Nancy, good morning. All question is made. Yes, Nancy, thank you. I needed to say that. I said it yesterday. Nancy, thank you for reminding me. The health fair is in 2 weeks from tomorrow. We will be back at the Thelma Burns building. If you remember last year, at about 10:50, there was a line to get in. We're giving out health gift cards. We're giving out goodies. But the most important thing that we're giving out is health information. And you will be able to talk directly to healthcare providers. And Darren is here and said, good morning, everybody. Belinda, thank you for tagging him. And so, Darren, I hope you heard why we tagged him. Oh, yeah. I definitely remember. Darren, we're going to figure out a way to get you to come in and talk about, impactful but safe protesting. So there's Darren right there saying, look at we need to catch up with Darren, Grandpa, all of that. So, all right, I'm getting off of here. No commercial breaks this morning, Miss Teresa. Y'all ain't slick. It's 9. Soon as that thing hit 9:30, that's a darn shame. Soon as that thing hit 9:31, y'all are talking about UCB got an hour. That is terrible. That is terrible. All right, for real, I got to go so I can get ready. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I'll sidebar with Darren to see when he's able to come in and chat with us and just catch up as well. And that's it for me. Peace, everybody. Have a great, safe weekend. And don't forget the health fair, on Saturday, May 11th, 2024. Peace.